Couch's Corner live post-game show. Toronto just forced Game 7. Someone's here is rolling an after-game fun ciggy. But we're just going to shoot the shit, join us live, and talk about Leafs forcing Game 7. What a game, but enjoy. So you actually like the Canadian style? I feel like it's Canadian style. You ever do the tobacco?
It's European as well.
Yeah, I don't think of it as being Canadian.
Quebec is smaller.
So we'll
Is that a thing in Quebec? The common J is a...
No, not common.
Not common.
What, tobacco's not common?
Yeah, smoking is common.
Yeah. No, but the
not
mix.
The split, I mean, 50-50, I want to say.
That's how I grew up.
Can we
Always.
smoke that?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Alright, so we just watched Game 6, Toronto, Boston. These guys are all Boston fans, and they lost. So what's your thoughts going into Game 7? Confident, not confident?
I think I was invited here on false pretenses. I thought that only Bruin fans here.
Yeah, no, not happening here. I got to support Canada on this one. What are you on the fence? You like Boston, you said.
I mean, I've been in the New England area, I guess, since my main days. But I've also played for the Toronto organization. I was for the Toronto Marlies.
You played Marlies?
I played 40 years. For the Toronto Marlies, 41 games played. I can tell you, nice, very good first practice. Actually, I had the chance to that training camp with the Leaf was nice. I had Darcy Tucker, Ray Croft, and Matt Sundin. So I was actually.
Sundin was there?
How old was Sundin at the time?
I believe that might have been his last year.
Yeah.
And I was part of his dressing room too, actually. So one morning I get up and then early in the dressing room get stretched, and then Sundin walks in, and it's just me and my French buddy Brent Aubin, and then Sundin walks in, and we're there before him, and I say something,
Something?
Come
on, dude, make something up.
I go something about early morning, and then he didn't even
no.
flinch. He didn't even mind his own business. So my buddy just started laughing. He's like, "Hey man,
yeah,
open the mic."
Yeah. Oh,
So,
funny. That's funny. And it looks like Washington is moving on. I'm assuming because they're interviewing Ovechkin.
4 straight
I
games.
believe Ovechkin called that one
They lost the first
After
2 and then
game.
just got owned.
to his fans.
He did. Yeah, I think he's on a mission. Watch out for Washington. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Putin has sent him over here.
yeah, he's
The Capitals,
to win.
Yeah.
would rather play anybody
I'm
than
not
Pittsburgh.
hearing what he's saying.
How many times have they been beaten by Pittsburgh?
Who cares? We're more interested.
And sometimes they say,
Hey, we had a good time. We'll have fun. But the remote's all the way over there.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, see, he's just all business, Ovechkin. Watch out for Washington. Washington, Pittsburgh. There you go. What an epic series that is. Crosby versus Ovi. The
so
kid.
about they just had the Battle of Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
Fully in. It's
How many times have the Capitals lost the Penguins in the playoffs?
pretty much
100%.
Dozens.
100%. Yeah.
It's
Like
the last team they want to play is the
Yeah.
Penguins.
But they gotta do it. I feel like this is it. This is their
So
Stanley
I
Cup.
understand how that is. The Bruins going to get the top seed if they win the series.
Yeah.
But the Bruins have lost 3 games in the series now, and each time Jakobsen has just been incredible.
Anderson.
Yes, Freddie Anderson,
Yeah.
the keeper
Yeah.
for Toronto. Did I say whatever?
Jakobsen?
He's a Swede. Jakobsen. I thought it was Freddie Jakobsen. But if he stands on his head again, they could lose. I mean,
That's
they
it.
score more than
Game
one goal.
7, that's the thing with Game 7. Toronto has a legit chance. No one said that 2 games ago. Toronto was done.
Yeah.
And then even last game, they're still done. Now it's like they just won again. Probably should have lost again. Who knows? I didn't see
And
that.
Chauncey Roll, didn't it look like Boston had part of it?
Tonight?
Yeah,
No.
Boston was all over them.
No.
They
They had periods of surge. They were not
like
like
3 breakaways in the third period.
First
Yeah, the third period, yeah, but I mean,
the game got stretched. They were
first two periods, I thought it was all Boston.
More puck
Really?
possession.
First period, I could give
I
someone give
didn't
me
have
the
that
first
feeling at
period.
all.
I was like, oh, Toronto, screwed. It
Toronto
was
was on the
0-0
front
after the first, but they were
Toronto was
all
on the
over.
front foot all night, and the Bruins had the lead for
More
what,
puck
40
possession.
seconds.
A little bit older team. The Bruins are an older team, so more puck possession for them.
Right.
But it looks like they had the whole control of the game, but the transition of these was great. They had a couple breakaways.
That's their game. Transition, eh?
Oh, yeah.
This game was about Anderson. Just
I'll
like
tell
the other
you,
two games we lost.
Transition story, real quick. In Maine, and I never heard of transition before I went to Maine. There's so many things I didn't learn before I went from junior hockey to Maine that I didn't even understand what they were talking about. Where I should have, I think they were looking at me like, how do you not know this already? Like gap control. If you ever heard of gap control, is when the space between, so if Pasternak's coming down and I'm guarding Pasternak and he's fast, the gap between me and him when he gets that puck to where I am is called the gap. So if you have a tight gap, he's here and I'm here, so he can't gain that speed and you're kind of controlling him. But if Pasternak's here and I start here and he comes at me and I start going this way, now that I'm on top of the goalie, he's dangling me. It's gap control, and the better gap control, but you have to be fast because you can get burned quick. It's a talent, it's tough.
If he has a good gap, then I have to kind of go through
Yeah.
him. So
And he has
can
no
push-
speed.
He can push me, but if he has a bad gap, then I can just be like waving kind of around him. Or
What's
if
the U.S. football analogy would be closing speed?
Right? Yeah, that would make
When
sense.
you were talking about closing speed, you're really talking about how do you maintain the gap when you're guarding a wide
Right.
receiver? If you have good closing speed,
I
you
think
can
that-
give him more room and
Right.
tempt the quarterback into throwing.
Depends
it.
on your opponent, probably
Right,
at the time who it is.
Not a perfect analog, but
I think if you the best sport to compare is that if you give too much gap to a good 3-pointer like LeBron James, then he will shoot it all
Sure.
day long. So that's why they have to close and then be really in his face, or else he's gonna make that shot all the time.
But it's a somewhat risk at the same time.
Yeah.
You close the gap against a real
Yeah,
talented player,
he'll beat you.
he'll make you look stupid. Now he's on a breakaway.
so you didn't know that until you showed up.
Never knew it. What was the other one? we
What
were
about
talking
major
about?
junior hockey? I thought it was like serious hockey. They
No,
don't
it
talk-
is. I mean,
Well, I know, but
I
so
never.
they
No,
don't
I
talk
wasn't
about something
major
like that?
junior.
Oh, you were major junior.
The way I went was I went to junior A hockey in Pembroke, which would be like equivalent to like a really good high school, I would say. Like you get recruited from this. This is like the highest level you can play where I was from. And then I had a choice. I remember this is OHL scouts, which would be the equivalent to the Q, like the Quebec Major Junior OHL,
Right.
and where you go and you play that level of hockey. You're not going to school. I think you still can go to school. Something. You're playing hockey, or you
The
can
Q
go to
you
college.
can.
You go. This is your route at that time. You go college hockey in America, or you go the OHL or the Q. And usually,
Major junior.
and at the time, I think when we were playing, like
Major
Crosby,
junior, you can't.
Crosby, like the major big guns. It'd almost be like LeBron and Kobe, just going straight from high school. These guys would go to the H or the OHL, like Crosby playing the QHL or the Q. You know what I'm talking about?
So instead of that, you went and played Division I hockey
Right.
in the States.
Yeah.
Same age group.
So, but I knew my talents, and that
A
was
little-
the best
a little
route for
older,
me.
Yeah,
a little
I think.
older. You can be a little older in college because you go there.
Right.
You can.
Right.
I was an old college man.
Right.
I started.
Yeah.
I started college at like.
And that was the difference between
I went
going to
play
college
juniors
and that.
before.
So you don't have to. It's not an all or nothing thing. You can do what you do.
Well,
You
he
can
had to do
Yeah,
something. He had to red
you can't
shirt.
go play. You can't go play for the Q or the Dub, because the rule is the minute that you get paid, then you consider professional. So you have to sit out years. So if you go to professional hockey and you practice and you get paid, then you can't go to college. You have to sit down a year. Because I had to sit out a full year, which you call a red shirt.
Did that work out?
That worked out. I sat out for a full year, and then I went on to play my 4
Yeah,
years
man.
as a full
Yeah.
scholarship.
So
you were
you
juiced
guys
up to
played
play
together?
at that point. You hadn't played for a year. You were
So he lived the college
Once
life.
you had a year of
practiced.
college under your belt,
So
you were
what's your
like,
last name?
I won Rookie of the Year that year.
Levier.
you had a year.
Yeah.
And I came in
Levi.
1920. played old juniors,
Right.
and then I went on to play. I sat out 21. And I played
L-E-I-L-L-E, Levier.
Ah, so
Michel Levier.
because there's young kids.
Complete
in
French.
college.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
also,
think.
you know, like, I
That's
recruited
a
at
villain.
17, 18 when I was a senior. So,
What were you asking? Something about
LEV, yeah, LEV.
His last name was something else before that, I thought. Anyway.
So I have a French last name. Detroit. 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 In English, it's Detroit, but it's Detroit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Why do you spell it D-E-T-R-O?
Something better or that?
No.
Light beer sounds good.
Is it cold?
Yeah.
From the old, it's
I don't
not
like it.
quote unquote, quote unquote.
It's pretty cold.
Are you
Right
from
here.
Maine?
No, my father, these people moved to the middle Atlantic states, but from Belgium, so Detroit is the family name.
Cheers,
matey.
So, but no, so I had a fair amount of people I've known, they hear that name, that, oh, no, that's really not French. Because it's, they know all the sounds and the feels of Quebecois French.
Right.
But they don't necessarily know the old country per se. Have you heard that from
No, yeah, no, I see. If you ask me, Detroit doesn't sound French at all.
Right.
But I believe you.
Detroit.
What do I know?
D-E.
Detroit.
Yeah.
But I was just saying
It's
that.
So Lance worked for.
That's the fucking, that's what I was
Have you ever heard
I've
of
got
Peter
Benoit's in
Detroit?
my family for
You ever heard
laying
of
them
him?
all out here, laying all our
Who?
cards on the table.
Peter Detroit. He was
No, I've never.
Okay, so Lance, no, he's like, that's my brother, he's a lawyer, but he's no longer alive, but anyway. So Lance knows him. And I've never met Lance, I know a bunch of guys that got hired around the same time, young guys, and I know a lot of those other attorneys. They, a couple other guys,
Yeah.
but I don't know him. But he's done well for himself.
Yes.
The only thing about being a judge is tough.
He
Socially,
is a judge
you
already.
get. Yeah, I know he's a judge already. With the federal judiciary, it's a whole different
I
scene.
think he's the only one.
You don't really you can't deal with a lot of the same people that you know.
Right.
If they have anything to do with law. One of the advantages in my life, thank God, is I have a lot of friends who are outside the legal profession.
Yeah,
The
right.
average lawyer doesn't.
Right. Yeah.
He's fairly young too. I think he's one of the youngest.
Yeah.
So Troy, you hate the Bruins, right?
Yeah.
So watching the Bruins, as
Nice to
much as
meet
you
you.
have
What
the
do you think of
series,
him?
what is most impressive about the Bruins? About the team that they
It's only their top line. Top line is the best in the NHL.
you don't think that their other lines are good enough?
Well, they're not doing it right now, and they need it. But if they were if Bruins were firing on all cylinders with Nash is the key.
You gotta get goals from the
Man,
second
he has
line.
0 points, you're saying?
I don't think he has a point.
And definitely no goals.
Krejci and Nash and whoever should be scoring goals.
Yeah, Krejci's done already. I think
I
he
like
won the
Krejci
one
if he's
game.
not your top center. I like him
Right.
as a second or
He's
third
a
center.
he's a sweet second.
Yes.
Second center.
He just can't be your best center.
Right.
But
But that top line, but Pasternak slowed down now for sure because
didn't have
they
a great game tonight. He was
didn't see him much.
he was aggressive. He was
tries.
running at people, but he just he had a great
Also,
drag, toe drag.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
What have you seen a game this year?
wanted to
Live?
get out of
Live?
being
No.
on site.
No. Do you ever?
I'll go once a year, like when someone has
Yeah.
tickets. But I'll go more Celtics games, more Red Sox games, frankly.
What would you like? Would you make it if they make it to the next
I
round?
got some family, I got
Or
some
like
friends here.
going
a lot of
forward,
friends.
like, would you consider
So,
going?
some of the
No,
folks
just because
up
I've
here,
got so much other travel plans.
Yeah.
That would be the only reason. If someone had a ticket for Game 7, they call me, I would go.
What if we had all like we got a good crew together, but it cost us
Are they a little high-
what a
high,
ticket?
No,
You know what I
that's
mean?
actually,
Like
believe it or not.
we're not getting free tickets.
No,
It's gonna cost us a couple hundred
Couple
bucks.
hundred
to go.
bucks a
I know there are
Yeah.
people, I know some
It's a $300 night.
But if we got like
No, I
a bunch of us,
Folks
go,
are
it'd be
folks.
once in a lifetime.
I'd have to say
experience.
no, because I was just done with the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
go to
Alright.
Montana.
And
for
you're
my
a
son.
key
I-
aspect in that
Yeah.
trip for me if I was ever gonna
Yes.
do it.
Yeah, all kinds of-
Maybe I probably wouldn't. Only in Vegas. And you know what? Tell you a funny story is who do you think is the highest ticket price in the NHL for playoffs?
You go up there,
Playoff
North,
tickets.
and that's
stretched
been
to
forever. I
there.
think they're just the biggest market in
Right.
Canada.
Yeah,
I think everything.
And they're so rarely in the playoffs. It's supply and demand. It's supply and demand.
Fuck the Leafs.
Hope to see you again.
Troy, I think I gotta go, buddy.
Okay. All right. Well, I was gonna say guess who's the second highest?
Bruins?
No, and this is kind of embarrassing. So the not an original six team, Vegas.
It's hot.
Is
It's
the
hot
second.
ticket in
I
Vegas.
know, but I'm a little disappointed that it's like, let the fans enjoy it, let the locals enjoy it a little bit before you just everything's the high rollers. And I get it as a business. If you own that business, you're like, people are gonna pay $400 a ticket. You gotta do it, maybe.
I think I would
But
like to
I
know,
wish
the,
it
I would like
would've
to know
been
the
cool.
figures for Winnipeg because I think this is a big happening there.
Yeah.
They're like, they sense how good that team
Winnipeg's
is.
gonna be big.
And
Yeah. They're gonna be hard
They're
tickets
going
to
to be
come by.
crawling all over themselves to get into those
That'd
games.
be a fun.
Because
time to
nothing
see
else is
a
going to
game.
happen in Winnipeg.
I,
for
I,
50
I
years.
go to Winnipeg.
Yeah, they got nothing else to do up there.
Like, we're going to the game.
Is that like?
I've played down there. It's fairly boring.
No, I saw the game. I saw the Bruins play the Jets late this season. Great game. The
Well,
Bruins lost
you
6-5,
know better than I
but it
do.
was a freaking
It's flat.
absolute- as good as a regular season game could be.
Yeah.
And then I saw
I
two of their
can't
playoff
say
games.
I've visited.
They're
Winnipeg
good.
looks great.
Yeah, that's a scary team. You know who was the captain of? Funny story, real quick, is the Blake Wheeler is the captain of Winnipeg, who's amazing. He
Ex-Bruin.
played with the Bruins, whose dentist is the guy that did my teeth.
Damn!
There you go. And he's like, Blake Wheeler's my client. There you go.
Welcome to the wormhole.
Yeah, crazy shit.
2 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
It's only two.
Only two. Forget the 5.
It happens all the fucking time.
2. No, it's good stuff.
Yeah, that's the beauty of hockey. I think you could travel the whole world.
I met the dentist guy through hockey, where I was doing private lessons, and like I couldn't afford to do what he did to my.
I got a
because
question.
I was teaching
I
his
got a
kid.
question. You guys know when you talk, you meet somebody, you're talking, right? You know, the moment you know that they know hockey. By
Yeah.
the way, I'm not one, but I mean, it's like sort of like, oh, huh, you know hockey.
Yeah, I think so. Before it wasn't a second thought in Canada. I feel like growing up, but when you get here.
Yeah.
And someone says something, I always say that. I'm like, holy shit, you know hockey. Like, if he knows a player that's not Bobby Orr. Or, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's.
Like, if someone mentions another team other than the Bruins around here, I'm fucking shocked. If someone said something about, oh, Vegas looks good, I'd be like, holy
I still
shit,
have not
you're
seen
not from
Vegas
around
play
here.
a single shift of hockey.
Really?
No.
Unbelievable hockey they're playing.
I didn't see any
So,
playoff
so
series.
good.
It's
All
over
I
before it
all I
started.
watched all year.
Hey, can
Watch
I'd
every
like to
game.
deflate it, if you would, a conceit that my friend Hal has. He speaks so ill of Maine hockey players and compared to like Massachusetts. Forget about Canada. We're gonna put that aside altogether.
You guys
But I'm
stick
saying
with it.
the amount of players we got, given the motherfucking size, he's very dismissive.
Did a
the
single
hockey
Maine
skill.
native play on your
Oh,
team
fucking-
at Maine?
Yeah,
I got a
couple.
question.
Two.
Is he's got any right to say that shit or not? I don't know.
Two.
But I totally agree. But it's
Aw,
not. No.
fuck.
But there's group. But it's not. Is there any? No. There's one. Dumoulin plays for. He's from Maine. One guy.
He's from Denver.
And you think Maine? I agree with this kind of. It's like Maine should be like Minnesota. It should be a
Not enough
fucking
money here.
hockey
There's not
craze.
enough money here and
It's
not enough
basically
people.
Canada. It's cold all the time. Why isn't there? There's no.
See, this is
hockey
what I
here?
thought as a masshole when I moved to Maine. When I went north, I thought the closer to Canada you got, the more into hockey you were.
Right.
Not true.
Not
Maine,
the case, not
Maine is a
no.
big desert because it's expensive and it requires a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you need money and people. Maine doesn't have a lot of.
It's definitely- it's
people.
growing,
It's
though.
About
I guess it's growing, but
Maine. I mean, just look around here. I mean, from the only city around here is Portland. The rest of it, it's all.
Excuse me, did you happen to see my hat?
Oh yeah, I mean, you can't even
Yeah,
call that a
that's right
city.
there.
You know, like I mean,
Oh, God.
Portland's
so
a
wait,
city, come on.
but wait, I'm just saying
It's the only
that
one.
despite the fact that I kind of said, well, it's small, it's just the rest of it is all wood area. It's all my friend Duffy, the main hockey player I played with. He skipped practice to go hunting. Was the only guy I couldn't believe. I was like, oh man, I got picked to go deer on the
So yeah, okay. As a,
you know, move something. I got finally picked after 10 years, so
Yeah.
can I go, coach? Coach, let him go. You know? But
so
I'm just saying,
you're Quebecois.
to you, it goes with the whole aspect of it. It's an expensive sport.
Yeah.
Man, Dover, Foxcroft. If you want to play hockey, I mean, some of my guys that I coach at Biddeford travel from Lewiston. They come practice twice a night at 8 o'clock. They have an hour plus the drive to me. So Duffy, to go high competitive, was going to New Hampshire. But that's partially why there's no arenas around.
There's always gonna be an exception.
And
I'm
then,
from Massachusetts. They turn out, you know, my point to Ben has
and
been
then
Massachusetts just turns out more players,
yeah.
way more players, and
More money. That's why.
more money, more people. 6 million people there.
More money, but now
I
the
was trying
kids
to
are-
argue the essential main character
Look, sure.
versus the.
But I get it. I,
fucking.
the
That's
main guys we know
international
are
sports.
really good. Derek Damon, Greg Moore.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
two anymore.
Duffy.
But Duffy's main guy.
Yeah.
I never
You're
played Cup,
completely
though.
discounting me.
Ray Jean was the main
Ray
guy. A
Jean,
couple of the other goalies.
Yeah,
But Ray Jean might have played AHL, eh?
Did he?
Main guy, yeah, I think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Anyway, Derek Damon's still playing in Europe, and Greg Moore is a U.S. under-18 national coach, assistant
Oh,
coach,
nice. That's good.
and played like in Germany, DEL, like big-time hockey. Played with the Rangers, maybe a game. I don't know.
DEL, that's Deutsche League.
Yeah,
he
like,
played-
that's
he played
basically
a couple.
it.
The best-
the
best league in Europe.
So is it the best
Ah,
outside? Okay, right. After, so number one's in NHL, right?
Yeah.
What's the second league?
I'm gonna say KHL,
The Russian League.
Russian league.
and then I mean, and then it gets close. I think Swedish league, the Swedish elite league. German DEL. I think DEL maybe is a little bit under, but not by far. I think it's there's some good AHL
Interesting
guys there.
because you got an NBA, obviously number one. Number two, it's the Spanish league. And
Yeah.
then probably
Yeah,
Italian
there's a-
league, number
there's a
three.
million.
The Italian league's good, eh?
Yeah,
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 it is.
fucking hey, it's great. And there's a lot of leagues that do have Finn teams, Estonian teams,
Yeah.
and a team from Chad.
You know,
They don't have a team from Chad. I mean,
Italy
Chadians.
was very diverse in sport, but very passionate. All like the handball. Like I went to see games.
Oh, handball's fun.
I'm like, "Fuck, who plays this? And but in basketball, they were passionate. Hockey, you've seen the hockey passion where I was from.
Yeah.
You never think Italian hockey fans. You think soccer. We were the #1 sport in my little village, and they had a soccer team. And there was like they're nuts about it. It's crazy. It's fun, and it's super small. It's like 600 people at that rate, but it's packed, and they're drinking beers, and it's politics, and it's fucking chess matches with the next town, and they're buying players, and it's hilarious. I'm like it's a little mobster
And
ring. I
then
feel
they
like
have,
it's hilarious.
They all had their own bands, so they have their songs and their fight songs,
Yeah,
and they all have their own scarves.
yeah, the scarves.
So
are-
tell-
Scarves are fucking
Tell
great.
them what the club
I
is,
got
I
a
believe
scarf.
is. Club and
The
league
heck
is
shop.
Balzoni, right?
What?
I
What was the name of the town, the Italian town?
My town?
Yeah.
Calton.
Oh,
Calton, Caldera.
Caldero.
Caldera. What's about Balzoni? I thought you played
Bolzano was
Bolzano.
so I played in Caltern, which is like 15 minutes from Bolzano.
Uh-huh.
And Bolzano was the top league. I was in the second league.
Ah, I gotcha.
But when this happened, they went to an international tournament and they could call up whoever they wanted. And they picked me. And they chose me. No big deal. And my buddy Pontus. I think we were just
I
out of the
remember
playoffs. We were available, something like
I
that.
remember
But it's the
Uh,
Italian second division, basically, what we're talking about.
We were, but they were in
Yes.
the top division.
Right,
when
and you
Chelsea-
went and played with them.
Chelsea, yeah. And so that's my only connection to them. But it was amazing. Then we went to the international tournament in Kiev.
Oh, yeah?
Ukraine. That was
That is
bad
Ukraine,
shit,
yeah.
crazy experience.
Yeah.
We went to after we lost. I played like shit. I was injured. Long story. I
Upper
didn't
body,
play well.
upper body injury?
Yeah, I had like
Because you
a
don't have to
weird
say it.
thing.
You don't have to, you don't have to reveal
Yeah,
anything. It's
yeah,
playoff time.
Yeah, that's true. Don't disclose.
Don't disclose.
But so anyway, we lost and we got crushed by some really good teams. And Charmelson went back to the AHL. So when we won the international tournament in Bolzano, we advanced to this bigger international tournament for the world champ, whatever the fuck it's called. And then so we went there. Charleston went back to the NHL, so we're like fucking way worse of a team now because he was gone, and we got crushed, like just destroyed by every team. But we partied after in Ukraine, and it was fucking awesome. But it was so dark and like basically like one of those movies from Taken where you go to a weird country and you go to these bars where women are like,
So it felt sinister.
oh, big time. And everyone, Italians are hilarious too. They're just like, they get drunk and they fucking have a good time. And I was like trying to keep pace. I was like, I'm gonna just enjoy this. Like, this is crazy. And we got hammered and we just went to this weird bars and there was girls dancing, telling stories. Like, I'll never forget that moment. But who the fuck goes to the Ukraine? Like, that's where hockey brought me. Because I played hockey. I went to that
They do
place.
play hockey in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
They like their hockey in the Ukraine.
Yeah, they're crazy. And it's what you think. I walked down the street. It was guys in Adidas tracksuits that looked like they wanted to kill you and were hitmen. Every one of them.
They're all
Tracksuits.
hitmen.
Just walking.
It's
They're
an
like
entire city of hitmen.
fucking dark and like looked weathered. And then the girls, all of them 10s. No joke. Tall, just models walking around with these guys that were hitmen.
Like Augusta, Maine on any given January, February.
Yeah, exactly, like Augusta Maine. But I mean, not everyone. You get my point,
Yeah,
obviously.
I-
But it was like there were like super attractive women, and just weird,
How about the
scary men that
phenomenon?
they're walking around.
So you were attracted to the
Come
women
back
and
and
you
go to
weren't
Quebec.
attracted to the men.
No, they scared me. But
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
There's
crazy.
a bias. I share that bias.
Immediately,
There's
how
another guy
much
in a tracksuit.
how much better dressed?
Does nothing for me.
Everybody in fucking Quebec is, holy shit.
Yeah, true.
And it makes a difference. I mean, at the end of the day, like, well, and I grew up in a generation kind of like, I was a little post-hippie, so I was like, get the fuck out of here. But I was like, I realized in Quebec, you're constantly looking like a fucking slob unless you dress up.
Really?
Mind you,
I
I
didn't know
still dress like a slob.
That's
Oh yeah,
European
this best
style.
dressed fucking thing.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
The women are dressed in the fucking nines
Yeah.
all the time.
That I feel like that
The
is.
guys are all
European, right?
dressed. They're great.
Then why doesn't America? And then no offense to America, because Canada is not any gem either all the time. America's got to be the worst at this. It's just you go out and it's no one takes
By-
pride in their appearance at all. Like it's like,
by far, no.
What are you saying?
but I mean, you do. Like I like
Oh,
your
you're-
dress.
The
Nice
present
tonight.
company
Like, you're
accepted
dressed.
in all cases.
Hey,
But
you're from Massachusetts. You said.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah, there you go.
He looks like one. That's
No, you got
supposed
some
to
nice
boy for a
shoes.
asshole.
You've been into the
Good
city.
glass, I love it.
Yeah,
you've been
That's
into the
super-
city.
I'm from the
before.
suburbs. I don't want to get carried away here, but it might as well be the city.
You've seen the big city.
Yes, I have.
Exactly.
But you got an image, like you
But
got
your general point was that American men, but Americans generally, they'll go out and they don't take enough care to like make themselves
Yeah,
presentable.
and I think
Generally.
not every country's like Canada's great at it, but when I like went to Europe and probably Quebec, like you're saying, like Katie wouldn't go out unless she was like fully dressed because she's like, have you seen these women out there? They're in like Dolce & Gabbana suits and like their purses out, and there's like everyone. You never saw someone in jogging pants ever. I swear to
That's
God.
true.
No,
That's
not
true.
at all.
You never saw someone in
I
regular boots and
I-
like their ass hanging out of their pants. It was like people just took respect for their looks, and I think that's like a
Naturally, they were the toast of the town.
they.
Caldero.
I got a
They
picture.
were. I mean, we were like royalty. We said like, I'm like, we're looking around.
That was my
Like,
talent.
yeah,
I had to improve my game when I went there. I was like, I gotta present myself in public. Even the hockey guys,
I wear different
just
clothes in,
nice
in
dress.
the States that I wear, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I can picture
100%.
that. I was same in Europe. for
So
me,
like
different.
America just is slumming it.
Big time. I mean, I get it. It's there's
Everything's
different
allowed.
Is that that's like our
cities.
culture?
Fuck, this is getting way too deep. Then someone that can afford to buy clothes that are maybe that's not a priority for someone than it is to buy new clothes to look good. I don't know. It's
I mean,
It's gotta be a relationship.
That can be a factor, sure.
So you
I,
see-
again, I'll agree to your point though. You know, we're going with stereotypes, and it's not everybody.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
It's not
Mind you.
everybody. You know, but
I'm just
you,
trying to
you can
tease it
see,
out.
You can see nice people dressed in Sanford.
Yeah.
You will.
You will.
But the majority, I'm just saying, is that and I have a couple coworkers that live in a somewhat area, and it's more like I value the fact that I'm Canadian living in the States and went to Germany because I've seen other places around and how other people are living. And if you've lived in Sanford and all they've had everything, but they haven't seen anything else but other than going for a drive in the car or mom and dad smoking a dart. The kids are doing their thing, but there's just no.
Smoking a dart.
I mean, you get to a certain point, you pass the hospital in Sanford, and then you will see. I guarantee you, somebody smoking a dart, pushing the stroller. I guarantee you. But it's just, you know, they go and dress in the area. You know, they go. Again, it goes the whole brackets and it gets into politics, but they live in the young lower bracket.
You become a product of your environment.
Exactly, yeah, and well said. Well said.
What do you think? I think I feel like we stepped into it.
No,
That was dumb.
it's definitely true that Europeans, that was the point you were making originally, was that Europeans dress to go out.
Yeah.
And I remember getting off a train, you know, that I'd been on for 24 hours coming up from Greece over to the Brindisi and then up to Milan. We got there on a Sunday afternoon and we were freaking wretched and we were like backpacking around and we had days and days. And it was really awkward because it was a Sunday afternoon and everyone was out promenading and they were dressed to the nines. It was like almost cartoonish. And we were so filthy, they looked more cartoonish because we were so rank.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I see it back home too. Right? It's not just here. It's
No, I think it's
you go with
sure.
the soul. Exactly where you're growing up.
But I didn't see it like when Europe, or like northern Italy. That's a pretty rich
Oh yeah.
culture. Like there's no where I was, there wasn't a fucking.
But I think there's a couple things going on. That like economically, when a group of families and culture would have you thrive in an area, how many other people are moving to frig out? They're not moving out. They're staying there. They're semi-autonomous there in northern Italy. Badass, you know, Germans or Austrians, and so the economic factor is part of it as well.
Yeah.
We do.
Deep
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, I'm just involved with kids nowadays, and then there's just no such thing as hard work. It's everything. It's, you know, the whole.
People have been saying that about the younger
Technology.
generations for as long as people have been writing shit down.
Your generation was fucking lazy too.
And I less generation in America.
They'll figure it out.
woman
Yeah.
who raises children. I was just
No,
like,
yeah,
I was
you're right.
superficially involved. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
Sophocles was
Nice
the
job.
Don't
Keep it
skip
going.
the impact of technology.
no, I'm
The
exaggerating.
whole aspect
But
of
I think you
now
guys are a lot
becoming
more involved
millionaire
than
and
we
stand
were.
with,
Yeah.
you know.
And God bless you.
It certainly changed.
I think
with
it's
me. We
better.
don't know how that is.
Yeah.
There wasn't demanding
Maybe
for
that-
us.
No,
Right.
yeah.
It's a generational thing.
Yeah,
that goes
and
down.
I'm not, again, I think
I don't think
it's
it's gonna
good.
sap their
Certainly, it's
intellectual
good for the
strength.
women.
Yeah. No, no.
We'll
for
see
sure.
though.
I honestly
But
think
the women-
the
As long as
younger
their skin doesn't all burn off.
Care a little bit more.
No, but that's
No.
but that, again, that's a broad stroke because I think there's kids now that are like super intelligent and super ambitious and like changing the world too. And then there's obviously that big slice that, and I see it, and I think it's more common than not to see a kid that's a lazy piece of shit. I'm sorry, and that scares me for Brooklyn, is that he's gonna, and like I sometimes like I'm like, man, I was really hard on him today, and I feel regret. But like when I feel like he's getting to that rude
Yeah.
point where it's like, no, you
You've
do
been-
this, I'm like,
you've been
oh,
doing-
I don't
You've
think
been
so.
fine with it. Don't feel
Yeah,
any
yeah.
guilt.
But
I'm
then like
absolving
there's
you
days
of
I'm like,
all
oh
guilt.
man, poor little kid's only 3.
Oh,
But I'm like,
God.
I don't want him to go down that road.
Yeah.
It's like, he goes, today he goes, when he wakes up, and we give him the iPad in emergencies. Like when we're in the car for 24 hours to Florida, he got the iPad.
Who even brought up the iPad?
Don't
Don't defend yourself about the fucking iPad. I mean, no one was talking about an
He
iPad.
had to do some hair stuff. I'm like, that's it. But now he woke up and Katie goes, or he goes to Katie, he goes, where's my iPad? And Katie's like, no. She says, you don't have an iPad. I'm like, that's my iPad, and we let you borrow it on 2 times. He's like, don't say that's yours. And that's what I don't undertink. It's like, no, it's mine. It's mine.
Well,
We're on
You
this
gotta
kids,
work
look
on
at
it.
tell you what, I don't really, you guys remember, you probably don't, 'cause you're really young. But kids are very good manipulators.
I don't know.
So, the
I
kids
don't know.
are always gonna do that, right?
That was down.
They're gonna figure out your weakest spot
Yeah, sure.
And exploit it.
and exploit it. So.
What younger age?
And Brooklyn is very smart.
Yeah, he's
Super
smart.
smart.
Yeah, he's
Super smart.
So he's like dialed into it. From the get go.
He is
He's
an
a
evil genius. I think.
Evil genius.
And you guys are fast. It's good for you.
Yeah.
Because you guys are quick enough to catch him.
Yeah, we
But
got-
that little bugger just like, have you seen him move?
Oh
You
yeah.
see, he goes from like 0 to 60 in half a click.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's-
love it though. I just want to just have passion.
That's the challenge, man. We can't give them everything.
Yeah.
You gotta say no.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah.
It's hard though when you start.
But jeez,
Sorry.
I tried to leave at 8, right? And I'm thinking, fuck, I'm driving down. I'm like, you know, going to watch hockey, and then Julianne is just playing the guilty. She goes, I don't want you to go, Papa. And I'm like, what? If I'd be here, you'd be like, no, don't come and read books, or, you know, like, leave me alone. I'm like, oh.
You know.
Now I leave, so.
I don't want to watch
They know.
hockey. I don't watch hockey. I wish I was better. One of my skills that I lacked in my life was teaching my kids passion I've had for sport. Youngest just did it, but she didn't really care about affiliation, like Blackhawks, Cubs, Bulls, Bears.
Well, you had 4 daughters.
Hey, I'm past my due. My wife is, what's her name?
I gotta roll as well.
Hey, I'll
Yeah,
be back.
hey, nice to meet
I'll
you.
be
Good to
back.
meet you, man.
Hey, don't listen to anything I say.
Are those wool shoes?
Those are,
Wool wool?
no.
They're cool.
They're like
what?
You go
Yeah.
ahead.
Like,
Get a
no.
feel.
Oh yeah, it could be wool.
My wife got me those special Martins, man. Again, made. Hey, see,
There you go.
I respect
Yeah,
the many
man.
companies.
No,
But
no.
yeah, she saw those on special.
Those are fucking
Hey,
dope.
I
It's
like
a
to
nice
meet
little
you.
birthday gift. They're nice and comfy, you know.
Yeah, so next time, Wednesdays we'll do the brother-in-law dinner.
I bring the beer next time.
All right,
I
buddy.
bring the beer.
Oh, I'm tired. I'm going. Now that we're not doing our, we're not on the air anymore.
Oh, I thought I was.
You probably are.
I'm pretty much, I thought I was kind of at
Yeah,
long
we were
last,
20,
the
20.
star of the show. It's been so many years that I have tried to be El Estrella, La Estrella, the star
Star of what?
of the show.
Oh, like this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were right there.
Yeah.
Sitting right in the middle.
I mean, right now I'm like the only person. You keep moving around distractedly, you're kind of.
Yeah.
Moving towards the car.
All right.
I almost
Are you
made it
sticking
out.
around?
No, I'm not.
Ah.
I almost made it outside.
Yeah.
Thanks. Had to go on TV.
All right, bud.
All right, man.
I'll, call me back when you get that stuff.
All right. Good night, y'all.